Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Barry John, and this is Descent 3. I have two co-pilots, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Laylight, and this is totally new to me.
I'm Solitaire, and I only know this game from buying the player's guide as a kid.
It's Descent 3. I'm skipping pilot training because, honestly, I don't need to show how to fly 101 by this point. So I'm going straight to the Retribution campaign. At this point, it would have shown off the introductory cutscenes that people have already watched. And so... Yeah, trust me, you guys do not want to know what I had to do to get this game running and recording properly.
So these are the mission briefings. These are the robots we would normally have seen in like a little non-interactive cutscene before you started a mission, but now you can kind of scroll through them.
Yep.
Yeah, the interface reminds me of Star Wars Droid Works.
Yeah, all of this advanced technology to increase the concentration of the 90s. More 90s per 90s.
1032. How's it looking down there?
So, welcome to the new HUD, same as the old HUD, now with the faint little glass outline of your of the windshield.
Take care. Over and out.
I hope that we don't ever have to pay attention to what they're saying over the intercoms, because without subtitles, that's going to be really hard to make out. And the time to barrel, very low in this game. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, time to barrel is literally 0 seconds. So...
Destructible
Well, we had to go through some
environments,
cutscenes to go through that first, but still.
Also, hello, beautiful.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't really make out ourselves in that reflection.
Yeah. But me using the rear view just to get a glimpse of the new version of the Pyro. Rest in peace, the old Pyro.
Yeah, look at all these new physics engines improvements. We gotta show these off in level 1 right away.
Oh god.
Yeah, like, it can move without turning its thrusters on, even.
Yeah. So...
something ion particles.
So, let me get some technical details out of the way first. I am running this game in its native resolution of 640 by 480, and in post-processing, I'm doubling the size of it. Because, as many people tried to suggest, you can totally change the resolutions of this game. Yes, you can. It doesn't change the fact that the menu screens, the pause screens, and the map are hard-coded to be the resolution you see in front of you.
Yikes.
Yeah, look at all these new textures, particle effects. We're in the future, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played a lot of Descent 2 when I was a young sprout, but I don't think I even ever heard of this game at the time. Like, at this point I would have been moving on to Ambrosia Software, classic Mac OS 9 gaming.
Oh,
I don't think I ever heard
Velocity.
about this till I was in college.
So, Descent 3 happened after Paradox Interactive went down and Interplay went down. During the opening cutscenes, you would notice that it was presented by Outrage Entertainment.
Yeah, dig that 90s logo.
So, so basically it was a partial successor company, partly these guys now own the IP. It was time to, cash in on Descent 3. Yeah, but...
Yep.
Sorry, just watching this video is bringing back all the bad memories, because you guys may not see it, but I am having a hell of a time playing this game right now. The controls are awkward, my ability to aim smoothly is completely shot.
So are you going to be leaving in all deaths in this series?
Yes, because deaths no longer matter.
Oh, neat.
There is no life counter. The worst part with the deaths is that it sets you back, or respawns you at the last checkpoint you hit. And,
so it's like a time rewind to the point where you hit the checkpoint.
Well, then you have to go back and collect your your power-ups and upgrades.
Oh, so you
Speaking
still
of
drop
power-ups-
all your stuff in a cloud of missiles.
Yes.
Speaking of power-ups, what was that guidebot power-up we saw earlier?
All right, so you may have remembered from Descent 2 and Descent Vertigo that I avoided using the guide bot as much as humanly possible, right?
Yes.
Well, they decided to fix that in this game by making the guide bot actually A, useful, and B, providing unique power-ups for it.
Oh, cool.
Did you just complete a side quest?
No, by hitting that switch, I turned off the glowing red force field that was blocking my way earlier.
Oh, so they have more specific status messages for switches now.
Yeah. And this is me.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
there's
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Polygons.
Yep. So we're about to see one of the things that was advertised so heavily. Ow. Sorry, melee enemy here. We're about to see one of the things that was so heavily advertised in this game, like in the manual and the brochures and the ads that played as the demo videos on other computer games. Give me a couple moments to actually, blow up here. See, literally, I spawned at the checkpoint, and the checkpoint was like 5 feet away from where I died.
Wow, yeah, that's the problem. You don't have any real grace period there. So it would have been better if you just spawned at the entrance this time. I guess having checkpoints makes it easier to keep track of everybody's favorite event flags, perhaps.
Yep. But there it is, people. Fire. They were so proud of the fact that they could put fire into the engine and have damage over time effects.
So it's like
Ooh.
poison for your ship.
Yes, except more burning and less coughing. Now, you guys may have noticed something earlier, like I know I did, especially on playing through this first level so many bazillion times. This game really made the effort to be as 3D as possible. So, it was something that came up rarely in Descent 2 and Vertigo, where ship design, where, the enemy models were more... Oh, hold on. More important thing first. We're outside!
Yay!
Except not, it's just a really big room with a skybox.
Yeah. Guess we can't just pop down to Mars for a burger then.
No. But as I was saying, they made the attempt of fidelity of 3D modeling extremely accurate, or not extremely accurate, but more accurate than it was in the previous Descents, where everybody's hit model was basically a sphere centered on or two spheres centered on, the enemy model itself.
Oh, hold on a minute. We've got to load in these higher resolution textures. The player's getting closer.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of textures, the map is textured now, I'm noticing.
Yep.
So that makes it seem easier to tell where everything is, but...
So to
I'm not...
get back to what you were saying a bit earlier, we don't have spherical hitboxes now. They're a lot closer to the models.
Yes.
Is that what you were saying?
Yes. But, now I apologize for interrupting Solitaire, but what happened was the 3D model, accuracy of the models is very nice. At some point you'll even see me hitting shielded models, and they use the exact same shield hit that showed up in Descent, in Free Space, which was also in development at this time. But the problem is that they also modeled out the weapons on your ship. And the weapons... Oh, there's Mars. The weapons are actually not... They're actually firing from the sides of your ship, which is all nice and neat. Except when you get...
so they're... Oh, go ahead.
Except when you get those small little dodgy fuckers, pardon my French, that if they are right in front of you, your guns go around them.
So they're like literally in between your gun placements.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
I mean, games have been approximating that for a long time by slightly offsetting the lasers when they emerge from your ship, and that amount of realism of like literally making them emerge from the gun barrels. Oh dear.
Like
I mean,
that
that's to
guy.
be commended, but I can see how that would be really annoying for these things that are probably like literally smaller than your ship even.
They are. So, one of the reasons why I was so proud of the Gauss cannon, the Vulcan cannon from the previous games, was because they were center line weapons. They went where you targeted. They didn't have the spread out. Like, they weren't side by side from your shots.
Yeah, to the game's credit, it is taking Descent 2's reticle. Like, you can see those bulging green filled-in dots that are indicating where your lasers will go approximately. But that doesn't change the fact that they're not in the center right next to your reticle, like a single central mount would be.
Mm-hmm.
Are there center weapons in this game?
No. Or rather, there is one center line weapon in one variant that we're not going to be able to get until level 10.
Great.
Yeah, it's, trust me, like, one of my frustrations, it's one of my frustrations with this game, and at the time of this recording, I'm doing my practice runs of level 10, so I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game already, and yeah, it's deeply frustrating, even to that point.
I should also mention, while I have the chance and it's still timely, that now that you're outside, you can fully experience the joy of flying around upside down with the sky underneath you.
True. Not that I do it much, but it's the thought that counts.
So even though the individual enemies here, like, these are still, like, basic starter tutorial enemies, the damage on them still seems to be pretty decent. Like, they're definitely able to catch you off guard if you keep missing them all day.
Yes, they do. They keep missing the old... I keep missing them all day. And yes. So at some point later on I'm going to do a thing and I'm going to explain why at that point. But for now, just know that I'm sitting here going, oh my god, why?
So I think we're all familiar with yellow number and blue number by this point. What's red number?
Oh, your ship comes with the afterburner and headlights by default.
So they have separate energy gain.
Yeah, the headlight... this, by the way, we're in a recharge room right now. That's the flare. And that's the headlight. So the headlights and the afterburners now come built into the pyro, as well as the guide bot that I'm not going to be... or I will be using the guide bot a lot later on, because he actually is useful.
So he's hanging out in the cargo bay right now.
Yeah.
So you can choose to deploy your guide bot or
Yes.
not?
Can you vacuum the guide bot
That's cool.
back up?
Yes.
It sounds like they actually listened to player feedback. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. And the guide bot, some of the guide bot power-ups are actually useful. For example, you know how I mentioned, they were so proud of the fact you can set things on fire in this game? Well, there are enemies that will set you on fire, and one of the guide bot power-ups is a fire extinguisher.
It kind of looks like your flares would set enemies on fire, too, from the looks of it.
It is possible to do so in multiplayer.
Yeah, I was wondering why the Material Defender was so interested in having the guide bot back, but if this is what it can do now, I guess that makes a little sense.
Oh, well, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to approach the glory of Wingnut, but Guidebot
That's a
will have to
power-up.
do.
Wingnut is an actual power-up now.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You know, this game might not be so bad after all.
Now, one thing I don't show off in this, because I think, I don't have the opportunity, but glass in this game can now be shattered.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a 90s game without shattering glass. I mean, come on.
But glass can only be shattered by a kinetic weapon, which is to say, this game's equivalent to the Vulcan cannon, or missiles.
Or your ship blowing up?
No. That's an energy explosion.
It's made of pure energy. Got it.
Mm-hmm. That guy took a concussion missile to the face. He face-tanked a concussion missile.
Yeah, that's not really something I'd expect an enemy in level 1 to do.
And now that guy is dead. It just... Sometimes the enemies won't blow up. They will drift and burn before they explode, which can be distracting on occasion when you're pouring more fire into it, into an enemy you think is dead. And it is dead, but, they're done. They're gone.
It'll absorb your fire, and you can still run into it if you're, trying to barrel down a hallway and you kill something in front of you and it's not dead yet.
Yep. Now, the temporary antivirus power-up is basically a enemy IFF switcher. You use it, and the enemy will be your friend for a short period of time.
Fancy.
Yep.
So is this something you would use with a command key, or does it just automatically hit the first enemy you run into or something?
There's a menu.
Oh boy. I'll take it as a generosity that we don't have to use function keys in this menu.
Technically you can, but I can never remember them. In fact, I stopped using the arrows to guide things around and just start hitting numbers at some point.
I'm sure that comes in really handy if you have one of those custom-made controllers with, the flight stick and, the 10-button keypad or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something that looks like it should have come out of an airplane cockpit.
Oh, God, get these guys away from me. These tiny little half-sized enemies are just the utter bane of my existence.
Yeah, they look like they're great at surrounding you and just kind of shooting you in the butt while you're distracted.
Yep, and remember what I was saying about, how they're too small to hit, if you're aiming straight at them.
So is there another solution to them that presents itself later?
Better guns.
Or you just...
And homing missiles.
Yeah.
Is it finally time for the spread fire cannon to come into its own?
There are 10 primary and 10 secondary weapons in this game again. There is no spread fire. There is none of the fun little gimmick weapon, the fun little weapons that you got.
So this is a new weapons roster we're looking at here.
You want to know?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to bitch about something in a couple of minutes about the weapons roster in this game. But I just wanted to get to the point where it becomes relevant before anything else. But
yeah, we'll have plenty of time to do that, I'm sure.
Oh, we will. There's fewer levels in this game, but right now, the average level is closer to 40 minutes long.
Yeah, look how long level 1 is.
Uh-huh.
It's a side effect of being, more plot objective driven rather than the typical locate keys, locate reactor, locate exit.
I mean, there's certainly more set pieces. We've gone through more separate environments in level 1 for sure.
Yeah.
Descent 2's level 1 was a sandbox. This is several levels and layers of introductions.
That purple thing back there, that's the new spawner. I will have words about spawners later on in a later level.
Alright, and here you can see the blueprint for our reactor.
And now, I just want to make one thing clear. We are not going to blow the reactor.
We need the reactor?
Why?
No, as in blowing up the reactor is a physical impossibility. We cannot access it.
It's there, but
Why
we
even
can't
bring
blow
it
it
in
up.
then?
That's right. Now, I found a secret area. Did you guys... And guess what I got?
A concussion
New
missile?
weapon?
No, we're at the super laser.
Oh, that was fast.
Here's the thing. The original Descent, had that gradient of the lasers. Laser 1, Laser 2, Level 3, 4, and then you had the Super Laser 5 and 6 in Descent 2 and Vertigo. This game, it's laser and super laser.
I mean, I guess I can sort of understand that streamlining, since you would spend, like, a tiny percent of the game at laser levels 2 and 3. You might spend the most of your time with the max level, of course, and then some of it at level 1. So you really just overlook 2 and 3 entirely.
Mm-hmm. And there was a message there for people who wanted to pause the video and read it, but basically it's a case of...
Oh, that wasn't done exploding yet.
No, it wasn't. It was still on fire, and so was I. So one of the things about the guide bot is that one of the commands for it is locate my power-ups. You can tell the guide bot to go to where you died so you can collect all your power-ups again.
Too bad it can't bring them back to you.
No. But you were saying?
So the next point I wanted to talk about, there's a lot of explosions in this game, and I am sure there will be many, many more.
Yes.
Depicting explosions in video games is an art form, really. It's hard to do just right in both an aesthetic sense and a game information sense, because from the game information, of course, you want to have a vague idea of where in 3D space is this explosion covering that I won't run my ship into it and get exploded upon. And in this game, it's obviously a lot more fancy. There's more particle effects involved. Personally, just me looking at it, oh yeah, like that spherical explosion was real nice, but some of those gaseous ones, I'm kind of having a bit of a hard time seeing, like, imagining how far out they are.
It is a problem, and when I get a certain secondary weapon later on, I'm going to comment about explosions. But that won't be for another couple of levels.
Yeah, I'm sure you could write entire, like, academic papers. In fact, there probably are academic papers about the history of explosions in video games.
And there we go. A floating security key, because obviously those things are floating in midair.
I mean, they did have the good
change
sense
everything.
to put that right next to a console. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Even in next gen, some things don't change.
Sorry, part of me is basically going, I should have been able to shoot these guys already. Like, I think part of the problem is that because I'm running in 640 by 480, my expectations for like how finely I can control my maneuver.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some mouse sensitivity stuff going on here.
Well, in my case, it's more joystick sensitivity, but yeah, same thing. And a message log.
Alright, where do we stand with reading message logs? Can enemies shoot us while we're reading this classified information?
Yes, they can. Which is why I try to make sure there's no enemies around when I read the message log. But yeah, so I've got the messages. I just realized, I need to actually do one more thing here with the restricted access key. And from there, we will finally leave the level.
So I talked a bit about red number earlier. Does the shape of that red shape by your ship matter?
No, not really. This is me just using the most viable, or the thing that these levels are big, these levels are huge. The guidebot actually knows where it's going.
Do you have the markers from Descent 2 to leave yourself breadcrumbs?
Yes. Now here's the thing. I actually came by this particular message area earlier. If you come here with the message, if you come here with the key, you get one message. If you come here without the key, you get a different message. And now the new message is, oh, we know where this Dr. Schweitzer is. And Material Defender is missing in action due to a hardware failure.
I haven't really commented about this yet either, but the music seems alright. Not really anything exciting, but it's okay.
The music isn't Redbook, but it's still good enough. Also,
this does not offend my sensibilities.
Yeah. Also, yes, these enemies are firing the plasma cannon at me.
In level 1.
That's right. But here is the exit. It is time to get out. Oh, and these in-engine cutscenes, not skippable, which makes, practice runs very interesting. But I'll see you all next time.